And he didn't have advisors, and he didn't pay attention to the mentors, because what I hear is that there was other people that approached Iverson with the same formula that was given to the other players, but he ignored it.
So would you say, in order to be an aggressor when it comes to investing into your money or using your money to invest in,
do it with disposable income.
I would say do it with the cushion.
Do it with disposable. And then how do you find your cushion? When you talked about 2 shows ago, give up your vices. Then you have enough money.
Okay.
If you stop smoking this and drinking this and going there, this place, whatever, you'll find your 10,000, 15,000. Because it's in your hand. You just give it to it in the wrong places.
Okay. All right, because
stop taking Lyft and Uber everywhere.
Oh, that's me. Man, Lyft and Cash Out. They get so much money from me a week, man. But the reason why I asked that too is because a lot of us, we want that residual income, so we're trying to find a way to become the aggressor. You know what I mean? When it comes to
Sacrifice.
So pretty much what he's saying is that there's a very big difference between, utilizing the people who already have millions coming in and the person who they're coming from rock bottom. You know what I'm saying? They're coming from, the same areas that we come from and don't have that particular, whether it be the check, from whatever job that you're doing that could be able to be placed into your own entrepreneurial venture. Or you just have, someone who's going to be that angel, that sponsor who's going to bring you up and say, okay, well, I'm gonna donate this to your cause. So it's a very big difference between the two.
You gotta strip your life down. That's one thing you got to do. A lot of us have too much clutter in our closets, too much clutter everywhere. You gotta become, really, if you want money, you gotta become a minimalist. You got to go in your home and you got to throw away all the stuff that doesn't make sense to have in your home. A furniture that you have in your house is too bulky and you got 3 or 4 places to sit in the living room, but it's only just you. Get rid of that and make more space for yourself. Once you make more space in your life, buy your food for the week and put it in the refrigerator. Stuff that you're going to eat, not stuff that you may or may not eat. And now you got stuff like that. And as far as your clothing is concerned, one of the things a person that I respect a lot taught me, basically, they got minimal clothing. They got enough clothes to last them about 2 weeks. And that's it. And whatever. Because and a lot of times they wear the same colors a lot. So it'll change. If you're a man and got suits and stuff like that, get yourself 4 or 5 suits. But get yourself like 10 shirts so you can actually make it look different. You don't need closets and closets full of junk. Because that's where your money is. You're investing in the wrong stuff. You know what I mean? If you go to the average person's house, you will find $50,000, $60,000 of stuff they bought. Stuff they don't even listen to anymore. If it's electronic device, especially phones. You go in their house and you add up all the phone boxes in the house. You know what I mean? You have the money. You're just throwing your money away. You know what I mean? Because if nothing's wrong with your phone now, why are you chasing the new phone that's coming out? You know what I mean? And why do you judge other people about what kind of phone they have? I mean, this is the dumbest thing. So the thing about it is, you have to look at your situation. If you're paying a car bill, get rid of the car. Buy a car after auction or something like that, or Craigslist or whatever. Offer up. Buy a car. And then you don't have to worry about the note. There's lots of things that you can do so you can have the money to get greater later. You got to sacrifice.
A lot of money out there that you can get greater later. I like that one. Definitely. It's a lot of money out there. And that's why I wanted to ask you guys about that, because when it comes to what we're trying to do, we want to make sure that we're not rushing our investments, but we want to make sure that we are out front when it comes to investing in these different things, because a lot of us fall short by, wanting to play the fence a little bit. Let's see if this goes up. Let's see if this stays in the black. You know what I mean? And it's like, if you're not aggressive in that moment, you too might slip and it might go up a couple extra $100, and now you can't even play to win no more. So that's why I wanted to ask, when it comes to being the actual aggressor when it comes to investing into anything, whether it's property, whether it's flipping your money, whether it's buying a percentage of an actual company, and co-ops too. And I wanted to ask you guys this last question before we wrap up. When it comes to getting into a co-op and being the aggressor or conservative about how you go into it, what would some advice that you would give to people who are going into business with other people?
All right, so
especially when it's not always 50-50. A co-op, you can have 30, 70, it can be whatever.
All right. Any business that you get into with another person, you should plan the day like the business is going to end today. How does it end up? No, how do we pull out from each other? You know, and
Exit strategy.
exit strategy. Because if you don't go in there in the reverse order, then you're gonna get all excited about being in business with somebody, and then next thing you know, if something goes south, now you're stuck. The other thing about it is when you start a business relationship with people, you need to get what they call a buy-sell agreement. And the buy-sell agreement would be that if say if Nard and I was in business and unfortunately if he should pass away, then basically I have enough life insurance for him to pay off his heirs, so they're not in business with me too. So his children and his brothers and sisters not coming to me and say, well, Nard put his time
You said
in.
it's a best heir agreement?
It's called a buy-sell agreement.
Buy-sell agreement.
A buy-sell agreement. That's a legal document that's backed up by life insurance. It also has a disability, so part to it. So if Nard he gets sick, I'm picking on you because I don't want to get sick. You're picking on you. So Nard gets sick or disabled, then there's money that comes into the business that I can actually hire somebody to replace his skill set. So so those are the type of things that you need to look at before you get into business. You also have to look at you got to discern who's going to be responsible for the taxes in this business if there are taxes. Who's going to be responsible for the payroll and administration? I mean, how do we hook up the bank accounts? Do we need dual signature accounts on our bank accounts or whatever it is? How much petty cash do we have on hand that we can actually supposedly trust each other with or whatever it is? These are all the things that you need to think about prior to getting into the nuts and bolts about what are we going to do and how we're going to do it. Because if you can't come into agreement with all those things, then I would suggest you don't have a business to begin with.
So, passing on of estates and, inheritance, etc. But everything that he mentioned is definitely on point because, at the end of the day, you have to, the people that you bring into your business, we already had a conversation on this, your business and who you bring in is almost like a marriage. So you're marrying this person until...
Marriage is a business.
Your business entity do you part. So you have to make sure that you know the ins and outs and any possibilities, like have already an agreement and an understanding of what can possibly happen, good and bad, because the conversation is everything, the dialogue is everything. So if you're able to have that mutual understanding, then of course, by all means, if you know that they are one, you have to be just as disciplined as me. Secondly, you have to be as consistent as I am. Thirdly, you have to make sure that if it's crunch time, don't fold. You can't say, well, no, just like how you just mentioned, if you have to crunch on your expenses and just deal with the basic priorities. Right. All of the luxuries, that's out until we get back to that, because every business goes up and down. So that's one thing that for the person who I look at the most, that was one of the last things that he told me in regards to business. He said, you're going to always have a roller coaster. You're going to have your time period where people know that you're up, but the reality is, they may be taxing you, taxing the hell out of you. Like, it's just bad right now. But you got to be able to get through it. You got to have that patience to get through it because you'll be up again.
You got to be able to cut bait too. If again, we said it a couple shows ago, don't hire anybody that you can't fire. Without, just because based upon the performance, and that's it. Not that they're your cousin, and not because he's going through a difficult time and all this other stuff that we bring into the conversation. It don't really matter. It's like sports. Can you play or can you not play? If your ankle is messed up and you can't play, then you're a liability. Go sit on the sidelines.
All assets, no liability.
Y'all better come correct when y'all better be busy with these two gentlemen up here. Man, for real. Man, once again, I appreciate you guys for coming through each and every Monday. I hope you guys got the answer out there that y'all was looking for when it comes to being, either the aggressor or the conservative person when it comes to a business, and also understanding when you are going into a co-op with different people that, just get ready for the wins and losses.
I need a CDL.com.
Yes.
And this is Lord Rain, Mr. Make It Rain on Instagram, also MR International on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook at MR Management and Promotions LLC. If you want the best in photography, videography, talk to me. If you need to set up any type of event and need an event planner, talk to me. If you need artists to come through and bless your stages, talk to me. And also, we're working on web series and more. And if you need the best in fashion, Corporation Clothing Company, Talk to me.
You wear a whole lot of hats, man. That's why the corporation always taking over. You already know what time it is, man. Revive has created a platform for you to spread your brand and your brand's message. Revive Radio offers affordable advertising packages to artists, entrepreneurs, and small businesses. You can find more information on reviveisalive.com. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel as well as the newsletter so you can stay locked with everything we got going on here at Revive Radio. Shout out to your girl, Harmony the Goddess, once again. It's Pisces season. DJ Shango, Tab Money, man. It's definitely Pisces season. Every morning you gotta get up anyway. So why not get up with me, your girl P.O.C, starting at 7 a.m. I need y'all to turn your radios up. Stay locked. Revive is alive. Revive is alive. Revive is alive.com. Click that link.